Go ahead, take us in, Grant.
I'm not recording yet.
We are.
Yeah.
Are we?
Is my right. Welcome to Twigs and Wigs.
Send, baby.
The podcast about music.
Sometimes.
So.
How's everybody doing out there? All of you cool cats and felines. This is your boy Johnny Jones coming out of Washington, D.C. I got my man Grant with me. Say what's up, Grant.
What's up, Grant?
Hey,
I
my
haven't
man.
been able to do that one in a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Hey.
Say what's up, Steve.
What's up, Steve? I like
My
doing
man,
that. I'm
Steve.
fine with that. I'm good with that.
And Grant is from Australia. Steve is from the UK. And we are Bones, Twigs, and Wigs. Golf claps. All right. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Beautiful guys. All right. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, man, today we're back at it with another one. It's been a long time for all of our, for our 25 subscribers and, 6 viewers and listeners on Anchor.fm. It's been a while. We really appreciate you guys if you're sticking in there with us. We took a little hiatus. My man Steve took a nice little vacation, nice little vacay. If you follow Steve's Instagram, you will see why I smiled when I said that, because it looked very quaint, very nice.
Yeah, there's a few videos that came out of it as well. Not that type of video, but they're up on YouTube now as well. As a couple of them, some music videos going up there.
Yeah, it was that type of video. You ain't gotta lie, Craig. You ain't gotta lie. But anyway,
I charge for that. That's
man.
OnlyFans.
We had to take a little break. I think it was well needed, and but we still been coming up with ideas and keeping all of you guys in mind. So I just wanted to take this time out to just say that if you've been rocking with us, we appreciate it. If you're new to rocking with us, we appreciate you too. Sit back, relax, and enjoy this weird cross-continental ride that we're on. So yeah, man. But anyway, for new listeners, new viewers, we got this thing. If you don't know, I'm sure you don't know because you're new. It's called Vinyl Impressions, and it's where one of us, we cover a record. We take a vinyl record, and we just sit back, we talk about it, man. We just rap about it. We go in depth. We talk about the personnel on the album. We talk about, record labels. We talk about different, music stories or stories about the artist and the band, yada, yada, yada. And we just go in, man. We just go in. So today was my turn. And I chose Fleetwood Mac.
Classic.
Boom.
I love
right
that
here.
artwork, man. It's such a
man.
iconic.
Very.
Is that Stevie and Lindsay on the front, is it?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Just
Yeah.
phenomenal. And the font, I don't know what the font's called that they use for their...
It's interesting, ain't it?
It's such a... I mean, it's Fleetwood Mac. I don't think you could use it for anything else because it's Fleetwood Mac when you see it. But yeah, amazing.
It's definitely like them, It says Fleetwood, but yeah, like literally and figuratively, you get what I'm saying. But anyway, this is the Rumours album, man. Dope record. I think I picked this up in Guitar Center, and I saw it. I've always been a fan of Fleetwood, and you guys know how I am, like when it comes to bands, especially like singing groups or like just groups that have like a lot of different vocalists. I always pick that one person that I like out of the group the most. Gotta say with this group, Stevie Nicks, man, you know what I'm saying? Very distinct voice. Stand out, I love her. I don't care what nobody says about Stevie. Love that girl. So when I saw the album, I was like, oh man, I gotta get that. This is the back album art. Very chill.
Man, the bass.
You can see that they focused a lot on.
They always put Stevie in the middle generally.
Yeah, it's like they focused a lot on like the pictures and stuff. Cause I don't know if you guys can see it. Like the song titles are kind of going across here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so and then they have like, you know, have like the producer credit and everything like that. But yeah, man, this is really, really cool. Really dope album. Straightforward. Ooh, more pictures.
I like the pictures.
So, and you know how they do. Lyrics to every song.
I love that when they use a photograph like that goes over two sides and then the lyrics fall around it.
Right?
I love that. It's such a satisfying old school thing. Yeah.
I agree. It's just nice. Like,
yeah. And then a nice little like photo collage.
That's cool. The black and white works
that
really
like
well around the edges. It sort of frames it. That's cool.
Yeah.
of them recording. Is that what that is?
It looks like it.
That's another old school thing that people would do on albums. You know, you are listening to the album and you open up the booklet and you look at pictures of them recording the album.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm a big fan of that.
Right. It's it speaks volumes, man, and it says something. You know, like I'm actually working. You know, side note, I'm actually working on some personal tracks and things that I want to release, that I would like to release this year. Mm-hmm. And just trying to document the process is like just as important to me as creating the music and recording the music, you know? Because I want to be able to go back and say, man, like, this is when I birthed the idea. Like, this is the exact moment when I laid down this part or this line or, you know, this instrument and yada, 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 and then piece everything together. I think it brings the audience into your world and into your mind, you know, as an artist. So when I see stuff like that, it's dope, you know?
Well, yeah, because you don't, like, when you're the person creating the art, you don't just remember the finished product. You remember making the product.
Yep.
Like, you know, I was just, you know, telling you about my weekend, right? Like,
Right.
those 2 gigs were just like, you know, just I couldn't do anything right.
Mm-hmm.
The gigs themselves, like, I'm sure most people that went to those gigs thought the gig was fine.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because they don't know about it. They don't know about all the little things that are happening throughout the night and all that sort of stuff. I'm gonna remember all that. But you know, if you document that sort of thing, that's kind of cool. Like, it's because you know, everybody likes a behind the music documentary, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, some people don't, which is weird. Some people just want to get straight to the music, and I get that. And and that brings up a question, bro. Like, maybe it's because like we're musicians and we listen to music differently, or like, you know, music kind of hits us differently. Like you ever heard of like you ever seen like an artist, they drop an album and then they'll do like a commentary version of that album. So it's like, you know, you got like the whole album on like Spotify or something like that, right? And then you have the commentary version where it's just you hear the music in the background and they're literally just sitting in the studio just like listening to the music and talking about like, oh yeah, this part right here, I remember when we did this and did that. Some people, like, they don't care about that stuff, man, but like, you know, call me weird, I actually enjoy it, you know? I want to see, you know, that's like I want to hear your process of creating, you know, said song, you know?
Yeah, because you do the same thing. So
you know what I'm saying? So I guess we can get into like a little bit of history. So apparently I didn't know, and once again, guys, disclaimer, I'm not the biggest Fleetwood fan. You know, I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not like a, you know, huge fan where I know like all of their history and every single one of their songs and every inch of their catalog and yada yada. But yeah, man, I discovered like this is their 11th studio album. So I'm like, wow, like this is crazy. And for them to have like 11 albums and this be like one of the, I don't want to say the best, but definitely like,
I think you may as well say it's the best.
You think so?
I think so.
It's the most famous, isn't it? It's the most highly regarded by most people.
I mean, it's hard to argue against Rumours. Like,
yeah,
I think
it's very tough.
Tusk has some great stuff on it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, man. It says it was released February 4th, 1977 by Warner Brothers. Recorded in California, largely. It was produced by Ken, Cowlat, and Richard Deshut. But I also want to mention too that when you see like the producer credits, it was only produced by like, you know, 2 people and Fleetwood Mac as a whole. You know what I'm saying? And I love when I hear like the band, like you see like the band's name in the credit as writer, producer, rather than like a member of the band. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you don't just see like, you know, Stevie or Lindsay like producers. Like it's, you know, it's not separated like that. Like it's like a collective, you know. So I love when bands, you know, they're like, yo, we're in this together. We all put in effort together. It's not like I wrote 80% of the songs and you wrote 20 or this person wrote whatever. It's like, no, like we all did this together and we all had like, you know, some input. And I would just love, I wish I can like talk to them to actually kind of dive in and see like who actually had more influence on the album.
Yeah.
You know, like in the group, you know what I'm saying? And once again too, like I love just hearing like an album like this, man. It's a, you know, Grant's gonna hate me for saying this, but it's a vibe.
I knew you were gonna say that.
You already know. It's a vibe. But I say that because to have, you know, just 2 producers plus the band as producers, and to create a sound like that, it's amazing, man. It's you know, it's pretty dope. It's like every track was just kind of different, but on like the same wave at the same time, you know. So you know, it really kind of gives you something different. And you guys know, like I've talked about this before. When I listen to an album, I don't want to hear like, I don't want every song to just sound the same and have like that same presence. Like I want it to be like different every time. And when you got a group like this, everybody has different voices and different input, so you're going to get that different vibe every time. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah, I appreciate it, man. It's pretty dope.
It's a great album.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I think I read somewhere. It's like a radio friendly sort of album, but it's all about anguish. It's all about all the horrible stuff, all the breakups that they went through, because they all shagged each other and broke up. You know? So it's like go through all that. But
they all
with a
fucking
friendly
hated
face.
each other. Like they all can't stand each
crazy.
other.
That's what I mean, because they got to this album, I think, and it was like saying the 11th album, which is insane. And they've done quite a lot since then as well. And it was a case of, you know, let's just be professional, because they just broke up and blah blah blah. Let's be professional. Let's do the album. And so what they did, they got a load of cocaine and made the album. Like,
there you go.
They coked off the face.
That's right. Isn't there
most of
that
the
rumor about? Isn't there the rumor about Stevie Nicks having to like anally ingest cocaine because it didn't do anything for her anymore?
Yeah, God knows how true that is, but yeah.
Or like she deviated her septum or something. Like one or the other. Like either her nose got fucked up or she needed to take it a little bit more direct. So she took one.
Coke. But it makes sense when you hear the songs. Like even Dreams, when I play Dreams, I do it quite slow. But when you actually listen to the original, yeah, they just push it a bit. It's like it feels like they're on coke. When you hear Dreams in your head, you're like, that's a real chilled out song. You listen, dum 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 dum. You're like, ooh, that's quite bouncy. And it's like you just took a lot of coke, didn't you?
Like you're on
It was always meant to be an 80 BPM ballad.
Yeah. But it's an amazing album though. The songs are all over the place, but it works really, really well. Like it, you know, they didn't want to put any fillers in it. They didn't want to write like an album track, like a 7-8 minute song. So they wrote singles. That was the plan, and it works.
Every song's pretty much very short.
Yeah.
There's a couple. There's like The Chain, which is a little bit longer, but
but that was a two song. That was 2 songs that they put together, wasn't it? So.
Yeah. That was the song. That was the song for me that that put me on to Fleetwood. I remember hearing it for the first time, and I can't remember if it was on like a movie. And it probably
it's in a movie
was.
now. It's the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, baby.
And it's perfect. and it's like it's perfect.
It's the fight song in that
Yeah.
movie. It's so
Yeah.
weird. I'm like, how is the chain the fight song?
Just like the way that thing
It's
goes down.
Fucking crazy.
Listen to the wind blow.
Yeah, but when he finally gets like the god power and he fights his dad and he flies into him as Pac-Man or whatever and he goes, yeah, and if you don't love
Right.
me now,
It's just hard.
never love me again.
That
What?
man is hard, bro.
Man, I had to like when I was maybe 18 or 19 years old, this girl I know, she wanted me to transcribe that bass line so that she could get it tattooed on her ribs.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. See, this is the thing with me with Fleetwood Mac. Like, I feel like I'm always underestimating Fleetwood Mac for whatever reason. Like, I keep forgetting about them, and then I realize how great they are, or were, or whatever.
Neil Finn's in Fleetwood Mac now.
Is he really?
He is.
Holy shit! That's kind of perfect. Like
I know.
He would fit that like a glove.
Yeah, he sings some lead
Sorry,
vocals.
Johnny. Neil Finn is
That's
Neil
the
Finn's in
guitar player, right?
Singer and guitar
he's a guitar player and singer from a really famous Australian band called Crowded House.
New Zealand band.
Oh, never heard of the band, but
no,
but,
they're an Australian band.
uh-oh.
Just because the brothers are from New Zealand, hey, they're like Russell Crowe. They claim Australia. Hey, all their fucking songs are about Melbourne, all right?
Yeah. The best New Zealand band ever.
They did their retirement gig on the steps of the Sydney Opera House.
Yeah,
all
because
right?
that's a cool place to do
They're
your gig. That's
Australian,
right.
all right?
Uh-oh.
Okay. It's
Okay,
fucking
alright.
Australian, okay?
No.
Let me tell you something. I was talking to some people, and like different ones, prior to doing this, this podcast, and I was telling them like, yeah, man, I got this podcast. I gotta listen to this Fleetwood Mac album. I've heard it before, but I have to like re-listen to it and like really, take my time with it if I'm going to be able to talk about it. So I'm listening to it out loud, and like the three people, family members, my girl, they don't, my ears are different than everybody else, like in my family and stuff. So like I listen to stuff like this, and everybody's like, "Who the heck is that?" You know what I'm saying? So when I put it on, everybody, like their response was like, "Oh man, I know this song," and then like the next song comes on, it's like, I know this one too. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's
exactly.
how big.
That's exactly what this album is.
That's
It's
how
just-
big this album was, man. Like you've probably heard these songs on TV, commercials, movies, all types of stuff, and didn't even realize
It's exactly
who it
what
was.
Van Halen 1984 was. Remember how we were talking about that?
Yes.
The amount of songs on that Van Halen record that you just know, and you're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, that's from this album? Like,
Yeah.
it's the exact same thing.
Yeah. Even me, like I was listening to it, and I was like, oh, I forgot that song was on. Like it was like one in particular song. I was like, oh, I forgot
Yeah,
that was
that's,
on here.
that's what I was getting at when I
Yeah.
was saying, like, I always have that stigma in the back of my mind. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, Fleetwood Mac, it's just cheese. It's like,
Right.
no, it's not just cheese. It's like, this album is about as legit as an album gets. So, like, a top 3 is hard, but I think a top 3 is actually very doable on this album as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I
Like,
mean,
I think that I'm trying to guess like what each year
well,
like top 3 would be. Like I can already tell at least one for you, Johnny.
oh yeah, you already know what that is.
I reckon I got 2 for Steve, and I reckon I've only got 1 for you though, Johnny.
All right, so in that case, go ahead, Steve. What's your top 3?
Yeah.
And before you start, listeners and viewers out there, we pick top 3. Every once in a while, it varies depending on how many tracks are on the album. If it's like 20 tracks on the album, I'm like, all right, let's do like top 5. You know what I'm saying? If it's like we've done vinyl impressions where it's like 7 tracks. So it's like
Just choose one.
Yeah, let's do like let's do 1, or 2, maybe 3, like
I
an
think the idea is,
honorable
like-
mention,
I think the idea is like we go for it's kind of like what's your favorite quarter of the record.
Right? You know what I'm
Maybe.
saying?
No.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah.
pick something that like encapsulates 25% of the record.
Mm-hmm.
That is your favorite. It's like your
That's
favorite.
your favorite.
your favorite half of one side, so to speak.
Exactly.
Overall, but
I think it's tough for this album.
They're very tough. Yeah.
Part of me wants to go for something like "You Make Loving Fun" because I find that interesting because that's Christine McVie singing about what she say. I don't have to tell you, but you're the only one, and you make loving fun and all this lot. And she's literally singing that next to the bass player she's just broke up with about her new guy.
Boy.
Like that's how.
Also, I much prefer her to Stevie Nicks as a singer.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. But that's this album.
Johnny's all about Stevie Nicks, and I remember Johnny, you were saying you're all about Stevie Nicks. I was like, I guarantee you, me and Steve, we're both going to say we like the other one.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, I prefer Stevie Nicks for many things, but I think the thing with this album, the thing with this band, is because most albums we hear, most of our favorite songs are written about breakups.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's an emotional sort of relationship thing or breakup in family relations or whatever, it's generally something, tied into that. But then there's the political stuff which could be looked at as a breakup in social justice or whatever. But there's always some sort of breakdown somewhere. But this is one of the only albums I can think of where the performers are writing about breakups with each other, and then they recorded these songs together and then performed them together. So you're writing a song about that bitch that left you, or that fucker that left you, and then you have to record it, and then you have to tell them the song that you've written. No, it's a D minor 7. No, it's a D minor 7. When I'm singing about how much you're an arsehole.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you go. Listen, this line about how you're bad in bed. Can you play a B minor 7 flat 5 over that? If you do a half diminished over that, yeah, I'm singing about how you got a tiny penis. Yeah. If we can do that bit, like, how do you convey?
Like,
you must be sat there going, "Is this about me?" No. Yeah, no, it literally is. You mentioned like the clothes I was wearing or whatever, because it's so brutally honest. But it's sort of behind happy music. It's not completely.
They're literally like it is so important that when I say this line, that you play a B flat 7.
Yeah.
It's going to make sense musically. Trust me. And then they say the line, and it's like, "Oh, I hate you."
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I could just see it.
Yeah, man. That's deep though, man. That is deep, and I think that's why. Like God or the universe, whoever you believe in, I think that's why it was allowed. Like it kind of flowed to be like one of the best albums, of all time, like across all genres, because of how it was created, man, and what they went through to create this album. Like they probably didn't see that coming. Like, yeah, they were just making music, probably.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
The same way as a listener as it is for the performers as well. I think because they all wrote a lot of their own songs and lyrics separately, then they come in and say to the rest of the guys, "This is the song." I think even like years later, they must have been going back, going, "Hang on a second, was that about me?" Oh, right. Yeah, that line was about you. Oh, I didn't really. So like, as listeners, we hear new things.
They bother to tell each other that they're just bitching about each other in front of their own faces.
It's only
too late
like
now.
That so much. That's so great.
It's only The Chain, I think, that they all wrote together. Like The Chain is the only song they wrote together. I'm pretty sure. But it's still about each other. It's just bizarre.
Yeah.
I can't imagine sat there writing a song with an ex-girlfriend, but to do that with someone, literally, because like Stevie Nicks was with two of the guys in the band at different points and left a husband for somebody else, and Christine McVie left the bass player just before this and got with a new guy. So the songs that she wrote, like "Go Your Own Way," "Don't Stop" and whatever, on this album were about the new guy and about leaving the bass player, who then had to write the song with her. Like I just can't.
Rehearse it and record it, and yeah.
I mean, no wonder there's lots of alcohol and cocaine and stuff like that. It must have been like, do you know what? Hey, let's try and enjoy this.
You know what, man? It really is. I think it really is true that, especially artistically, like pressure makes the diamond.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's how often do you come across a really great album or a really great work, a really great painting, or anything that stands the test of time and like gets nigh universal praise.
Yeah,
that isn't born out of some sort of heartbreak or depression or illness or some sort of hardship. Think about a Van Gogh painting.
Yeah.
And how beautiful all that is. And then think about how hard that guy's day-to-day life was. And
Well, without the pain and
it's
misery,
like,
nothing of you.
would he have been able to make that art without, like, if the art itself wasn't an escape for him from his really tough life, would the art have been as good?
Yeah, I mean, with him, I don't think.
I think there's a lot of truth to that,
and
that's why I don't have any. That's why I've never made any good art, because I have a pretty easy fucking life.
I think without,
I'm a useless artist.
I mean, life is supposed to be difficult, isn't it? I mean, without a struggle in any way, like the good things never seem as good. If it's not, if you've not had some bad times, if you just live in like we've lived on ships, and sometimes months will go by with not a lot happening. It's like, this is not, like, I need to feel something,
Yeah.
I might start listening to this album like once a week. Just go, all right, let's watch the show. Right,
Man,
I'll choose my top three before I forget to get onto it, then move on.
Yeah.
Right, top three. I'm staring at these, by the way, and for the life of me, I try not to go down the obvious route. I'll start with Songbird.
Okay.
nice.
Because Eva Cassidy's version of that is the most beautiful cover song ever. I actually thought it was Eva's song for a long time, to be honest.
Wow, really?
Yeah, if you listen to Eva Cassidy sing Songbird, it's heartbreaking. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that song speaks a lot to me. It's just a beautiful song. I have to choose The Chain just because it's The Chain. It's just an immense song. You can't not choose that song in this album. It's very difficult not to.
Facts.
Secondhand News is great, but it's... oh, God. It might have to be a song which we've all heard quite a lot. It might have to be Don't Stop. It's just a great, great song. I say it's such a well-written song.
We've definitely heard that song a lot.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, so we all worked on the same cruise ship together, and in one of the shows, they used "Don't Stop" as a very prominent number in one of these shows.
It's such a great
And
tune.
being the good crew member friends that we are, we would routinely go and see the show.
Yep.
Lots.
Yep.
But like
Same music.
What's the average? Once every couple of weeks, maybe. Like whenever you're free and you.
If it's my night off, you go in there for
fuck it.
45 minutes,
Yeah,
get
let's
a
go to
glass
the
of
show.
wine.
Let's go see the show.
I do it with Pixels as well, But yeah, I'll go for that. Go for The Chain, Songbird, The Chain, Don't Stop. My one that I wasn't sure on is Gold Dust Woman, because I think that's a tune. They're all great songs. So Gold Dust Woman, I was thinking about going for as well. So honourable mention for me.
Well, after we all do this, I'll ask a question, and then because what I think is a more interesting question, but we'll get to that eventually.
Right, go on, Grant. Your turn.
My turn.
Go ahead, Grant. It's you. Yeah.
I mean, obviously The Chain. I think all three of us are going to say The Chain, right?
You already know, man. Jesus
I mean,
Christ.
come on. I mean,
you gotta go with it. It's crazy.
And it's weird because I see, like, and again, like, a disclaimer for me, because I've played Dreams and Go Your Own Way so much in my life. Like, I'm talking,
Same.
it has to have been like 5,000 plus times in my life that I've played those songs in front of people. Like every gig I ever do, pretty much. It's either both of them or at least one of them. So maybe I'm not giving them the respect they deserve, but they ain't on my fucking list. No. even though when I hear them, the actual recorded version, I'm like, oh damn, this is actually pretty. They both sound great. Because goddamn, Fleetwood Mac were mixed well. But I have to say, just the guitar player coming out of me. And me and Steve were talking about this while you were sound checking, Johnny. We were talking about Never Going Back Again.
Okay.
Just because I loved the guitar part.
Yeah. I think if it had more depth to it, I would have chose that. If it had a bit more depth to it, vocally,
right? Because it's just so, like, lyrically sparse. Like, it's just, he says one thing and then he doesn't say anything for 20 seconds, and he says one more thing. But the guitar part's so cool. It's like, okay, yeah,
such a brave choice. Such a brave choice to leave that space for the guitar.
Yeah. My favorite song on the album by far is Silver Springs.
Great song.
I'm like, we were talking about pop music today, before we like hit the let's do the formal episode part of the conversation, and we were talking about like how good the hooks are right now in pop music, and like Fleetwood Mac have a knack for hooks, almost like chant style hooks at the end of their songs. Like The Chain is a good example. They play the song "If You Know That," which is a good song on its own right, but then after the bass line comes in, they build it,
and
they got
breathe.
that "Chain keep us together," and they just they chant that stuff.
Yeah.
Silver Springs has, I think, I don't know, it's I don't know, there's something about it that fucking grabs me. It's like that time casts
Just to let you know that isn't on the actual album. Just to let you know.
Won't forget me. It's not?
It's not on the album.
Nope.
It was a B-side.
Oh, shit.
So I think it's on like the deluxe versions of it. Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so did I listen to a deluxe version?
You have done, yeah. 'Cause
Yeah. About to say.
it's not actually on the album.
Because
Okay, so do I have to make another choice, or am I allowed Silver Springs?
I mean, Silver Springs, nowadays we're all got digital stuff. Anyone can get it. Yeah, it's fine.
I was about to say Silver Spring can be your honorable mention, but if it's in order, you know, like your phone or whatever, the last track is actually Gold Dust Woman.
Yeah, but Silver Spring, like I'm looking at it right now, and Silver Springs is the first song of side 2 on what I listened to.
Oh, wow.
It's on the top end, so maybe it's like a
Yeah, the original is first side is
probably a CD.
Secondhand News, Dreams, Never Going Back, Don't Stop, Go Your Own Way, Songbird. Side 2, The Chain, You Make Loving Fun, I Don't Want to Know, Oh Daddy, and Gold Dust Woman.
Daddy, Gold Dust Woman.
Gold
Okay,
Dust
so
Woman.
Silver, so I've got Silver Springs here before The Chain on side 2. Man, see, this is the funny thing about not actually having the
Physical album.
The
Yeah,
record,
exactly.
The album.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man. You know?
Because I'm clearly listening to a revised version of the album.
Yeah, it was
Right.
supposed to be on the
That's
album.
interesting.
It was supposed to be on the album, then they didn't put it on.
I think. Well, I mean, it was easily my favorite song on the album. So
Yeah. That's funny.
I don't know. So do I need to pick another one?
Yeah, pick another one, man. Just because.
I think I'd have to say Songbird then
Okay.
if I had to pick another one, because and everything I just said about Silver Springs can be said about Songbird. And yeah, what Steve said about the Eva Cassidy version, like, I agree. I keep thinking, I think of Eva Cassidy when I think of Songbird.
Because her voice is just ridiculous on that song. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
But it's
dope,
but again, it's the tag melody / lyric at the end of every chorus that gets you, because it's just so well written. Like that's the thing. Like everything with Fleetwood Mac, when they're on, like because like Secondhand News, the first track on the album, I think that is the only song on this entire album that's a little bit just because it sounds like some band jamming in the background of an 80s movie.
But it's good.
You know what I mean? It's like you're watching Back to the Future Part 3, and you know how ZZ Top are playing at the party?
Right.
It's like you could insert Fleetwood Mac playing that song, Secondhand News, and it wouldn't make a fucking difference.
But it's
Because it's just like it's like the only BGM part of the album, and then everything else is just a banger.
yeah.
Like a really well crafted pop song, or a really hard hitting like drum beat, and everything else is so much better mixed. Like one song is just weird.
Right.
Comparatively speaking, like there's nothing wrong with the song. It's just like compared to everything else on that album, it's a little bit weak.
Yeah. I think that is a good opener though. You know?
Yeah, there's
It's a
nothing wrong
great-
with it.
yeah,
I'm just saying,
yeah,
like
it's a
I mean, at the end of the day, if that's what you're going for, like if the album only gets better and better and better from that, then
Exactly.
it does
Then
its job,
perfect.
right?
It's
Yeah.
perfect, yeah.
But
so
yeah,
I think it's safe to say, like, if we had to pick like a weak link for this album, it'll probably be Secondhand.
By the way, that was going to be my question, like my next question
Oh,
about
that was
it.
really
Like,
okay. Yeah,
I was going to be like, what do you think is the weak link? I think
Yeah,
I don't know, 'cause I like it. I like it because it's so quirky as an intro. I actually really like it. It's like, ooh,
it's like
this is interesting.
It's not a bad song. You know what I'm saying?
there's nothing wrong with it. It's just
But it's like, but compared to everything else, it's like, I don't know. That's the.
is it the only song you don't recognize when you listen to the album?
Yeah.
You know what
Especially for me, you know what I'm saying?
I mean?
Like I
which
told
is a
you
big
guys,
deal,
like,
which is a huge, which only speaks highly of the album. I think if you say, yeah, you know, that one song out of 10 or whatever is I didn't immediately recognize that song. It's
Right.
it means you got a pretty strong album, I think.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, man. Well, that's good stuff, bro.
I can't believe that Silver Springs isn't on the actual
I
original
know, right?
album.
It's
That's
crazy.
That's shocking. I think that's by far the.
Yeah. And bro, and the deluxe
won't
version.
forgive me. Oh my god, that melody is amazing.
Yeah, the deluxe version too. Like they go into like this whole live, like they have like a live concert like version of it, and they add like Rhiannon on there. What else? World Turning. Then they have like a Dreams Take Two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't heard it yet because like I just listened to like just what I needed to listen to for this podcast. But I will go back and check
if
it
you're
out.
The host, if you're the host, you have to listen to the actual record because
right. You know what I'm saying? I'm like
for situations like this when I go, oh shit, that's not on the record.
You know what I'm saying? But they even have like you know the demo version of The Chain on here. The early takes of Silver Springs, Oh Daddy. It's pretty interesting, man. So, you know, thanks Apple Music, you know, for that. I appreciate it. Yeah. And this is actually like the super deluxe version. They have a super deluxe version.
I know, I saw the deluxe
crazy.
and super deluxe.
Yeah.
I was like, come on, just
I'm like, bro, you
just
guys
squeeze
are
every
like
penny.
yeah, you guys are just trying to milk us right now. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. But it's such a classic album though. It's like, why not? You know? And if they got it, and like I said, like that's like earlier how I was saying, you know, I appreciate when they document certain things and they share, you know, that documentation with the audience. You just start to appreciate it more because it's like, man, so that's why like I'm keeping all of my like rough drafts, like everything that I do, I keep all of my rough draft. I keep all of my pictures of like me behind the mic or me with a producer or me like even like eating food in the studio like while I'm writing and stuff like that because
I love that shit. It's the best.
you know what I'm saying, man? It shows like like we put in work, we had a good time. And we
had lunch breaks, you know, like
you know what I'm
that's
saying.
What I like seeing people have lunch breaks and just talk. I like seeing people be goofy and talk shit because it's like, guess what?
Yeah,
because I feel like so many people think that the job that the three of us have is, you know, like some sort of throwaway, like it's not really a job. Like you know,
right.
I had this conversation with like you know like my parents all the time when I was you know 13 years younger and I was just you know I'm starting to get some work but it's like no I've you know like made a career out of it for a decade and a half and it's like okay yeah it's like nowadays they get it but like for you know for the first few years they're like yeah you know eventually he'll get a real job. It's like no this is a real fucking job
right.
Just
I'm
because
getting paid.
Just
I'm paying
and also
bills.
also just because you only see the finished product that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of work behind it. There's not a lot of. There's not to me that there's not a lot of things holding it up.
Let me tell you something.
That's what I'm saying. Like what you're saying, I love what you're saying because I love seeing that shit as well. Because I love seeing people be normal people at work.
Right. Let me tell you something.
While they create the art.
Even when I'm at home working on my personal stuff for free, I'm not getting paid to do these things. Like a long time ago, like when I first started recording. Like my first home studio was like in my parents' living room. You know what I'm saying? And you know, there were times, man, where like I might get inspired, and thank God for my parents, like they were like super cool. I might get inspired, you know, at midnight, 1:00 in the morning. You know, I don't stop recording till like
you're an
3.
asshole.
Man, hey, but sometimes you got to get it out, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to get it out, man, because if you don't, you're going to lose it. And it's not like I'm like super loud or anything like that. I might just be, you know, laying some stuff down. I might have my headphones on and you might hear like the clicking of keys. Oh, you know what I'm saying? But they sleep with the TV on. Right, you know, but like they sleep with the TV on anyway, so it's like, you know, it's whatever. So there's been times where like, you know, I might be, you know, recording vocals and they're just sitting around the house. They have to walk through the, you know, past the living room so they see me, you know, recording something, you know what I'm saying? And they're hearing it over and over and over again, and they're wondering like, man, why is he playing this line over and over again, and why is he doing this over and over again, and you know, boom, boom, boom. And then when I played the finished product, it's like, oh, so you can.
Oh yeah,
you know,
mean, I got that problem now. You know, like I'm
you know what I'm saying?
I'm here at the old mother's house because no contracts right now. So it's like I spend most of my days, you know, like working on new like
right.
Maybe I'm working on a new like cover that uses loops and stuff, which requires like you, because I mean, and when the loop is complicated, Steve knows exactly what I'm talking about. Like when the loop's complicated enough, you're probably gonna spend a day. You gotta like, it's like being a dancer. You've got to rehearse beats. You've got to rehearse moments. You've got to rehearse like synchronizing your tap dancing with your guitar playing with your singing. It's so you've got to run the song in full over and over and over again, and I can't imagine how annoying that is to people outside the room.
Yeah, man. But when they hear the finished product, though, it's like, you know, because I remember having to like, and I know we're segueing. I'm gonna get to my top 3, but this is gonna be a nice short. I remember like telling my folks, like kind of explaining to them the art of recording. You know, they didn't really understand it. Like they knew, you know, that it's possible. And if I have this machine and I have this microphone and I can do this and do that, then, you know, this is what is, you know, what's possible. So when I actually like recorded something one time, it just blew their mind, and they're just like, so, and it sounds kind of funny to us because it's like, it's nothing to us, but to them, it's like, oh my God, like, so you can take this and record this at the same time, and it can play at the same time, and then you can record something else underneath that and then put it together. So now you got 3 different recordings playing at the same time, and it's like it's like you can record your voice 3 times and play it together. Like, it's mind blowing to them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, you know, it's also one of them things too where it's like you take, you know, your friends and your family and your loved ones on this journey with you, because they don't, you know, they might not be musicians and they might not understand, you know, how music works, how recording works. So having that opportunity, man, it's like, it's awesome, you know what I'm saying? So,
well, that's good. It sounds like you've got really good fucking parents.
Oh yeah, man. They let me.
I've met your mom. So.
Yeah, you know, mom. You know,
she's lovely.
Yeah, she's crazy, but okay. Mm-hmm. But anyway, that was a nice segue. My top 3.
Now, what are your top 3?
My top 3. Gotta say, Dreams.
Ooh.
Got to, man. Yeah. It's something like I remember hearing that song, and when I really started to like get into Fleetwood, I heard Dreams, and like I said, I've always been like a Stevie Nicks fan. I think I heard it on like Pandora. You guys ever had like the Pandora app?
I've heard about it, but I've never had it.
No, but I got offered a job by the guy that owns that.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird. He emailed.
Put a pin in that. We're gonna talk about that because I'm like,
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested to hear that, but yeah, like so, like Pandora is actually how I discovered like a lot of you know, bands like this. I would look up like, you know, a particular artist that I like, and then similar artists would, you know, pop up. You know, so you might look up like Phil Collins, and you hear like 2 Phil Collins songs back to back, and then next thing you know, a Cyndi Lauper song comes on. Then next thing you know, a Fleetwood song or a Stevie, you know, song comes on. So it's like, oh, okay, and you're just starting to like discover people over and over, and just like, you know, just new people. So Dreams, I remember, I think I was driving, I was doing something. Dreams came on, and what's the lyric? Thunder only happens when it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
Players only love you when they're playing.
Whoo, man.
Good line.
Players only love you. And it's the way she sing that. Players only love you when they're playing. Ooh, boy, that thing.
Women, they will come and they will go.
Yeah.
But when the rain is over you, you'll know.
Yep.
Yeah.
You will know. And then she repeated that twice. She said, when it washes over, you will know. Pause. you will know. I'm
And
telling
she
you,
even
man,
says,
like
just
that.
says when the rain washes, you'll know. She doesn't even say over you because she doesn't need to. You just know what she means.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
very clever lyrical sort of choice.
Well, that's what I
It's-
mean. Like that's how that's what I mean when I said before that I think I'm definitely underappreciating that and Go Your Own Way because
Yeah.
just because I've played the song so much when I like listen to the album in full I'm like to prep for this I'm like okay. And listen to them. I haven't heard them play the song in years. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? Like I've heard me play the song 1,000 fucking times, but I haven't heard them play the song in years. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
It's refreshing,
It's,
ain't
a
it?
really great song. And then yeah, but you know, after a certain amount of repetitions,
Right.
like the actual art of the lyrics, for instance, gets a little diluted in your head, but it doesn't change the fact that it's that good.
Right.
You know,
Right. Yeah. Well,
if I'm making sense.
no, definitely. Yeah, you definitely are. But yeah, man, like it just it takes you back because like hearing it on on a commercial or like a movie or something like that, it doesn't hit you as hard, because like you're so focused on the on the visuals. But when you're actually sitting back and you're listening to it, it's like, yo, this is a really well written song, So that's that's definitely one for me. I was gonna say Don't Stop, but I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna say am I gonna say Don't Stop? Hold on, because I wrote down some notes.
Again, it's a good tune.
You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say it is a good tune. I'm gonna say I Don't Want to Know. Yeah. It was something about that song, and it's I'm not sure how popular it is, out there to the world and everything, but I don't think compared to, Go Your Own Way, Don't Stop, Never Going Back, Dreams, The Chain, like compared to all of those songs, even, You Make Love and Fun, I don't think I Don't Want You to Go, I Don't Want You to Know is like one of their more, well-known joints.
That song replaced Silver Springs, by the way. I'm just reading.
Well, what's funny? I was about to say this. A very prominent line in Silver Springs is "I don't want to know."
Wow.
And I'm wondering whether or not it was a toss up between those two because they have, or whether or not they thought it would be confusing to have Silver Springs, especially like where it's placed on what I'm looking at of the album track list. Because they keep saying "I don't want to know" during Silver Springs, and then there's a song called "I Don't Want to Know." Maybe that's why it's not on there. I don't know.
It might be tied in with each other, man.
You know what? I don't want to know.
Right. Leave it like that. But I picked I Don't Want to Know because the harmonies, man.
Yeah.
The harmonies in that track, they are so locked in and so tight.
It's like classic 50s, 60s duo harmonies, like the Everly Brothers or something like that. It's gorgeous stuff. Yeah.
Like you don't get that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now granted, certain songs are certain songs, they don't need to be so locked in like that. You know what I'm saying? You might have a harmony doing something over here and then somebody else over here, and it still flows and it still ties in with each other. But these cats, man, were like really on top of each other, and just singing their hearts out, man. And I'm like, I really dig that. Really dig that. And they were just like so locked in. It was like I'm listening to the same voice, but just like one's like, semitones higher, you know what I'm saying? Like it was crazy. So I can really appreciate the harmonies on that, and that also makes me mention, I have to say it, The Chain.
Yep.
The harmonies, man.
3 out of
like
3.
that
3 out of
song-
3. I could have put money on that.
3 out of 3, man.
Oh,
That's
we all knew. We all knew everyone was going to say The Chain.
And I looked it up. You know how like when you look up an album, they show you which songs on the album were released as singles. They didn't release The Chain as a single.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Which is mind blowing to me. But that's like their
It's too long.
biggest track.
It's not a single song. It's
They
too
could
long.
have did. They could have did a
in
radio
77?
edit. they could have did a radio
No,
edit.
see, but that's the thing with Fleetwood Mac is that they have. This is what I said before. They have the main song, and then after the main song, they have the chanty section.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time, the chanty section is more popular. A lot of the time, the song's more popular.
That's true.
Like Silver Spring. That's what I was saying about Silver Springs. Like it has that thing that you think is the chorus, but it's not the chorus. It just happens to be the thing they keep singing over and over at the end. And the chain is the same.
Yeah.
It's each half of that piece of music is not long enough to be put on the radio. And if you take them apart, then the song doesn't work.
Right?
Because then it's just like a ballad and a rock song.
Yeah. Cause like I'm thinking like at the chain, right? Like so like right when it gets to that bass, right when it gets to that bass line, there's no music. I'm thinking that they can play that bass line like one little walkthrough. You know what I'm saying? Play that part, maybe like, you know, a couple bars through, and while they're doing that, they fade out, and then boom.
Yeah, but then you
edit.
don't get the hook, the actual hook of the song.
You don't
They
need it.
generally on the
but the
radio
act-
they generally fade it out. If they play it on the radio and I hear it, the second it goes dum 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 dum. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and next up on the show,
You know
I was
what
like,
I'm
no. It's like when Hotel
Yeah,
California,
yeah.
you sit there for 4 minutes listening to it for the
that's-
guitar solo,
that's
then
so-
you cut
yeah,
off the
but
guitar
see-
solo. I'm like, no.
Yeah, but see, that's so weird to me because like to me like the actual hook of the song is the chain keep us together, like that bit.
In the shadow.
Like when it builds back up and then it's really upbeat and then they like that's the hook of the song. Like
Or-
if you don't love me now,
Right.
you will never love me. Like people won't dance to that on the radio. But I'm talking like 1977 radio,
Right,
not like
right.
now. Like now
But
it doesn't
I'm
matter because there's a
thinking-
million channels and you know.
But I'm thinking too, like, so, you know, another radio edit idea would be cut out that breath, that bass line, like that air, that space, cut
Okay,
that
straight
out.
to the build up.
Right, go straight, like, you know,
Right.
somehow, like, get that thing. Oh, snap, Steve's getting the guitar. He's getting the guitar out. But, you know, go and go straight to the chains keep us together. Like, just, you know, cut out that air. And then go straight into, you know, like you said, like the actual hook of the song. You know, I mean, those are just
But
like
it's
different
debatable.
radio.
It is debatable
Yeah.
that that's the hook of the song. I
Yeah.
just think that it seems like a Fleetwood Mac formula to me. Like the
Yeah.
actual hook of the song is a different section than like what you've heard for the first 3 minutes.
Right.
It's usually the thing at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Like even like Dreams, like you know, like Dreams is a nice song and all that, but and then you get to the end of the song, and at the end of the song, what she does, what's she doing at the end?
Is it
You will know,
And then they keep it going.
You will know. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, that stuff like that.
And then
Some
they
of
hold
the
it
best,
out.
some of
Yeah.
the best like melodic, like most memorable melodic parts at the end of Fleetwood Mac songs. Because they're just
that's
jamming
true.
it out, you know.
That's
like,
true.
and
That's true.
That's where I think they're at their best. But
Yeah, it's interesting. Steve, what you working out over there, man? Ooh.
I was just
You
thinking,
playing
one
it
of the
that
things that
fast?
makes that song, bizarrely, because you've got the song's in E, isn't it, until the end, so
E minor, yeah.
etc. And then you got the.
But,
But then-
that's not the feel. But that's not the feel. It's not. Dun,
I know it's just very straight, isn't it? Very, very straight. Yeah.
Like
Right.
you're adding beats to it, like because you're thinking of the end part of the song where it is that feel.
That's it. So then when
You
you've
know what
got
I'm saying?
the key changes,
That's where I'm saying it's weird. Like it's weird for radio.
but you've got the bass line because it's got the. But then he chooses guitar wise to not really do anything. But this for ages, and it works so well.
It works,
works
man.
so
It
well.
works.
Lindsey Buckingham is a badass fucking guitar player,
He
I'm telling you
was
right now.
shredding like the whole album.
dude. And it's not even
Killing.
it's just he's the first guy I think I've ever heard, like chronologically at least. I think he's the first guy that really understood how to use a volume pedal. Because like you listen to him play on Dreams, you listen to him play on like Silver Springs, and like the way that he like melts the guitar into the music, like it's beautiful. And you know, I can't say enough nice things about it. It's just really well done and so good. Because man, his guitar playing on this album is so good. It's so good.
Let me ask you guys something. I wanted to do an honorable mention for Oh Daddy. What you guys think about that?
It's not one of my favorite songs, but I know why it's a great song. It just
the music. I think for me it was the music. I was like, oh man, this music is like really dope.
It's
and
like
then,
the freest song in the album.
in.
It feels free. It feels like organic, doesn't it?
Yeah, but like you know, like the lyrics came in, and I was like, I was like, it's interesting. Like, you know, it was just.
I think it's kind of the same as Never Going Back Again. It's the same sort of thing. Like,
yeah. But I was really feeling the music, and I will say too, guys, like, and to all of our listeners and viewers out there, you know, I do a lot of like hip hop, R&B stuff, and I sample. You know, I don't sample a lot. Like I'm no Kanye West or anything like that, but you know, we've actually had this convo. Or we kind of talked about it when we had Rob Swift on here. You know, DJ Rob Swift. That's a tongue
hey, by
twister.
the way, shout out to that bad man. By the way, because he just opened his online DJ school in the last couple of weeks, and
congrats, man.
Probably call me.
I'm proud of him.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Because I'm just super proud of him. Because he's gonna. I think he's gonna make a lot of money off that.
Oh yeah,
and he deserves that shit because he's the best.
Nah, he's a legend, man. Like, you know, and if you guys, for all of you guys who don't know who Rob Swift is, make sure you scroll down or scroll up wherever you're listening to this podcast. We actually did a 2-part, 3-part episode.
We did a 2-part interview with him. And it was a 2-part on an album he has from 1999 called The Ableist.
Yeah, and we dissected that album, bro, like to a T.
with him.
Man, like it was really, really dope. And like, well, first listen to the album. The album is like crazy dope. But I remember asking him a question about, you know, like how do you just like know, bro? Like how do you know how to like sample and do all of this stuff? And he was like, man, you just build up like a mental catalog, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of like know, like, oh man, this will go great, this sample will go great with this sample, and yada yada yada. And it just works. So I've been listening to like a lot of stuff that I know, and I think that's the trick. Like when you're doing hip hop music and you're sampling, the trick is to try to, you know, hear something that you know nobody else, or you know very few people have sampled it, very few people have touched it. I'm sure people have touched this album a lot. Like somebody's probably sampled The Chain a bunch of times.
There's gotta be a hip hop song with The Chain bass line, right?
Gotta
there has
be.
To be.
It's probably a few actually. You know, so. But like when I hear certain songs and I hear like certain you know measures, I'm just like, oh man, that'll be a dope sample right there. Like I could freak that, you know. I actually sampled, and it's not on this album, but I've actually sampled "Everywhere" by Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, you know, cause like just like that hook, I gotta let you guys hear that. It's I wanna be with you everywhere. That thing is so groovy. I was like, oh man, I gotta sample that, man. So, you know, and like the drums in it and everything is like really dope. So like Fleetwood, I thank you, Fleetwood Mac. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for making your music so easy to sample. You know what I'm saying? Like you can find some dope stuff.
Do you know why it's so easy as well?
And it doesn't matter what you do.
There's so much space.
Dude,
there's so much space. The rhythm section is so tight and so simple.
You know what I'm saying?
The drums,
But
the
also, if you're a band, you can just cover the song and it works. If you're a duo, you can strip it down acoustically. You could like, I can't think of anyone that's actually like sampled Fleetwood in like a hip hop environment, but There has to be.
Definitely. We can go to whosampled.com right now, type in Fleetwood Mac, and then just like and see like who's recorded covers, who's done samples.
You look it up, and I'm gonna get another beer.
Yeah, do your thing. Do your thing.
Yeah, because that I'm actually really curious about that. But
like my thing too is that
A lot of
like
people.
even
A lot of people. I'm just looking. One song, Albatross, has been covered by loads of people. But yeah. No.
yeah, but like my thing too is that even like their vocals, like sampling their vocals and stuff and adding that to like a beat is like because they always have like certain lines that are just so powerful. Their writing is so powerful. So if I just wanted to sample like a line of like a lyric or something like that, I could. So yeah, man, they make it so easy, man. That's when you know like your music is doing something. You know what I'm saying? Definitely doing something. Let me check.
Post Malone, man. Post Malone covered. Used Dreams, but
I'm not surprised.
I know there's a lot of covers of their stuff. Definitely listening to this album has made me want to go back into their stuff again because I really enjoyed it. It's quite an inspiring album, and it always has been, and that's why it's such an important album. It still inspires. You listen to it again, you're like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah,
and especially now, a lot of the pop music, like we were listening before to Dua Lipa and Justin Bieber and whatever, they're all going back to sort of 80s feel, 70s feel. It's all that type of stuff. So it's a little bit more lyrical, a little bit more heartfelt, rather than I'm in the club and I have a ring on my finger and I'm drinking champagne and all that shit.
Right.
It's a bit more heartfelt now. I feel like there's a bit more, people are more willing to talk about their heartbreak on record again at the minute, which which tends to lead to better songs.
I'm telling always, man. Like when you're putting it all out there like that, it always does.
Definitely, man.
I'm trying to see. Snap. Okay, so Bone Thugs and Harmony.
I know.
I've never heard this song. Oh man, I gotta wait for Grant to get back because I gotta hear this now. But hey, he's gonna put his headphones on. Hold on. Yo, G.
Yo.
So the chain, right?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. You already got it.
The chain was sampled by a lot of people, but one of the well-known was Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh shit!
The name of the song.
That's where we get our namesake.
So the name of the song is called Wind Blow. So I can only imagine what what the sample sounds like, bro.
I mean, obviously,
I know
right?
They gonna
Listen
kill
to
it.
the wind blow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like with a hard beat. Woo, that thing probably hard, man. I gotta check that out.
Listen to the wind blow.
I gotta check that out.
No damn time. Where's Kenny Urban when I need him?
Right?
Man.
Can you hear it?
Oh, it keeps the vocals in. Oh! Yes!
Hey yo, that joint is so
great.
hard,
That's so good.
bro. That joint so hard, bro. Cause like they got
so
the and they just sampling the guitar.
I did not think it would be that high paced. I thought it would be a lot slower.
It's the same kid.
Man, like I'm sure.
I thought it would be a lot more.
Yeah, so they use a capo, by the way, for the fucking verse in that song. So I don't know how they do it live because it's got to be capo. And it's like open.
Oof.
So I
man, that was like that was a nice treat. So
Solid, yeah.
But like I said, like I listen to bands like this and like when you go back to the 70s, you'll be surprised how many gems you find, man. Like how many diamonds in the rough. I'm not even gonna say in the rough, but just like these hidden treasures that you find as a creator and as a music producer. Mm-hmm. Like you find these in records.
But that's what me and Steve were talking about earlier. We were saying like all the like someone like Dua Lipa, like with this new pop music she's coming out with. It's not. And like when Bruno Mars was going through like his thing his little run at the top that went forever, everything they were doing was like throwback style. Yeah. Because like good music's good music at the end of the day, and Like people like will always gravitate towards good music, and
Yeah.
you can't deny people. You can't deny the greatness of people like your James Browns and your Princes and your Rick James. Like even like a Rick James, like that Rick James funk, like
Yeah.
that's sort of like
Yeah.
it sounds cheesy right now, but in 5-10 years, you know, the time will be the biggest thing in the world again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
because
Definitely.
in the 80s that was the cool shit.
Yeah.
That was stuff Eddie Murphy was going to clubs to like to listen to and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
in his red leather suit and it's gonna
But
come
yeah,
back.
man.
Like everything goes in cycles. Like
It's just full circle. Full
like
circle.
I remember 10 years ago, Fleetwood Mac were the biggest thing in the world again because at least in Australia, because everybody was getting really into that kind of folky style of pop, you know.
Right. And it's funny because like they definitely hit number one. I was looking at like some of their Billboard stuff, some of like the credits and certificates, and it's just like number ones, 5 stars, like all across the board, bro. Like 20 times certified platinum.
That's so much. That's so many albums.
Jesus Christ, man!
I think
Like
it's like the
you know,
ninth. It's still like the 9th best-selling album ever, or something like that. It's
yeah,
still,
man. Like you know, they're like they're in the list of 500 greatest albums of all time. And you think about how many musical artists we've had, how many great albums those particular music artists had.
This one would be pretty high up as well.
You know what I'm saying? I imagine it definitely
too
being
good.
like definitely being in the top 100 out of 5. So yeah,
I mean,
It's-
easily.
It's great. It's great. But yeah, man, let me go ahead and close it out, guys. You know, to all of our listeners and viewers, cool cats and felines, we really appreciate you guys for taking the time out to listen to us as we rant about, you know, awesome music. You know, for those who do not know who Fleetwood Mac is, I highly recommend you know, just checking out their album. You know,
By the way,
especially this one.
While you're closing out,
What?
it was number 7.
Bro, like out of 500.
Yeah, it was number 7.
Jesus Christ. Like I was trying to like give him a little bit of room. I was like, yeah, man, like, you know, I'll give him I wasn't even thinking top 10. Like I was like, yeah, give him like, you know,
Number
top
7.
100. Bro, number 7 on 500 greatest albums of all time. They were number 7. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. That's interesting. So yeah, it's like I said, to everybody that's listening, if you're not a fan of Fleetwood, if you don't even know who Fleetwood is, definitely check out this album. It's called Rumours. I believe that no matter who you are, if you listen to it, even if you're not a fan of the music, you'll still be like, oh, I've heard this song before. Oh, I've heard this song before. Like there's at least one song on here, at least, maybe even at least like 2 that you've heard on here that you've heard it somewhere.
Least, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody knows half the album.
This album is so rugged and just real and organic, and yet it's so commercial. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been on so many syncs, like, you know, like movies, television, commercials, whatever, man, you know. So yeah, highly recommend, you know, definitely check it out. I think I picked a good one. I wasn't too sure about this one. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do a little Fleetwood, you know. So yeah,
Classic.
so I think we had a good one today.
Yeah.
So
Great
once
album.
again, you know, we're going to close it out like we usually do. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all of our social media platforms, Bones, Twigs, and Wigs. Can't miss us. Also, you know, make sure you come holler at us. If you really want a mug, I got you for the mugs. You know, tell your friends about us, man. You know, this is a podcast for music lovers and musicians alike. And let's just keep that music flowing, baby. You know what I'm saying?